Welcome back to the part two of the Mentorship Advantage and with Dr. Olabisi Oshikanlu. And I know you enjoyed that in the first part. In case you didn't watch it, I want to refer you to last week edition that was released on the Mentorship Advantage. Right there, we explore the first four letters of the acronym mentorship. Like I said, you can find this in my new book that just came out last November, The Mentorship Advantage. So in that book, in the part three, we gave a blueprint on mentorship. And so what mentorship really look like. So we use the mentorship acronym for simplicity. If you know me by now, you know that acronym is my wheelhouse. It's something I am gifted at. But the thing I want you to see right here is the last podcast, we exploit the first four alphabet, the M. The M is motivation. That is igniting the fire within. So that's the motivation. And the E is expanded perspective. That means seeing beyond your limits. That's what mentors do. They expand our perspective. They make us to see beyond our limits. Then another thing that we looked at last week is the N, the networking opportunities. That means mentors open doors to destiny by creating networking opportunities. And this is what Dr. B has experienced. She has experienced in networking opportunities. I remember when we were in IMC together. I know she's tired of me. I was just introducing her to this, to that, to this, and to meaningful
My head was
people.
spinning.
To meaningful people that, it took a while for her to get to, but the bridge was there to really, and I've experienced the same through mentors. They just connected to people. We have the question that whom do you know that I should know? And one of the person that she was introduced to now became, she wanted to steal her from me. Can you imagine? Now became a happy accountability partner, Dr. Ayo Adenuga, one of our great leaders in the Lamb Global community. They actually stayed together in the hotel. And I remember Dr. B told me something. He said, Dr. Mike, you've done a lot of things well, but this is the most, this is the most important one because and they just strike together as 5 and 6. And that relationship has, gone beyond even my own widest imagination, all because of networking opportunities. The last one we talked about last week is T, transfer of wisdom, learning from experience. So we're gonna kick off today. We're gonna finish up the rest of the alphabet. The one we're gonna look at is O, and that is observation laboratory and witnessing success in action. And actually, she actually mentioned some of that last week, how we saw some things in action while we having our conferences, while we are having the rehearsals, and all those things and that she talked about. But one notable one that I want to recount from my own perspective about Dr. B is this, about the mastermind. The mastermind is just a form of training. So that was how we met. I gave her invitation to come to my mastermind, and she came. So that was a kind of an observational laboratory. So according to her, she was saying success in action. I was connecting with people. She's gonna say her own version now. So, but what she saw stood out to her that she went to apply it in a mastermind that she did, and they sent her a complimentary check. She wasn't even expecting the money, and that was a turning point. She now reached out to me that, please, can we work one-on-one? Can you coach me and all that? And that's how the relationship started. I didn't reach out to her to make money from her. No, that was not the idea. I just reached out to her to her because I saw that potential in her that I could help. So, but she was the one that reached out to me for this mentorship relationship that has really blossomed. That so many good things has really come out of it. Many good things on the line has come out of this.
Dr. Koku.
And I mean it because she's a real. She's not the only one. I have so many people. One of the person I talked about that she will be on podcast with is Nagam. Nagam live in Michigan. Nagam worked with me, and within 3 months, oh wow, she started doing what she couldn't do before. That's the power of mentorship. She'll be coming here to to share her own experience. So, Dr. B, I want to get back to you about share with us what was from your own perspective the observation laboratory witnessing success in action and how is important because we're dissecting the component of the mentorship advantage, because there's a handle to this thing. So we're just looking at it in bits and pieces because that's how you eat a big elephant. So what we are talking about is a big elephant, but you eat it in bits and pieces. So tell us what, from your own perspective. So give us your takeaway of the observatory laboratory. Thank you.
Yes, I like that. First of all, I do want to mention that tomorrow I'm going on a podcast with Nagam. So again, the power of mentorship. I met her through you. I've actually not met her in person, but you facilitated that, and now I'm going to be on her podcast. So it's giving me exposure. It's giving me a platform to be able to talk about the things that I'm interested in. But in terms of the observation laboratory, I can't believe I forgot about that $1,000. So my first mastermind was after I'd never done one before. I'd observed Dr. Koku, and so I decided that I was going to do a mastermind and basically just a leadership teaching for my sister's church. I reached out to the pastor, wrote up my proposal, and to my surprise, he agreed. And I was going to do this. This was going to be complimentary. But they were so impressed at the end. I think it was a 4-week program I did with them. The 4-week program.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I got a check for $1,000. $1,000. I was beside myself. I wasn't expecting it, but the two things you've always said to me, that I should deliver, do my due diligence, do my homework. So deliver good content and then go above, beyond expectation.
Exceed expectation.
And that's what I did.
Wow.
And so for the observation part, I talked about that last week. It's not so much observing. It's good to observe because you watch what people are doing. You're not trying to clone. Mentors are not supposed to clone you. So I like PowerPoints. Dr. Koku doesn't agree that you should have PowerPoints for masterminds, but it works for me. And so with my masterminds, I would show PowerPoints. I would use PowerPoints, and it worked. People, because I still got my $1,000 that I had not been expecting. But more than anything, what this has taught me is the action. You watch and then you do. Sometimes people just want to learn. You get fat on learning. But no, you learn a little.
Yeah.
You do a little. That's one of the John Maxwell maxims. Learn a little, do a little. Learn a little, do a little. And you don't have to be perfect. I used to love, I was brought up to be a perfectionist. But I've found out that you don't have to be perfect. Just start with where you are. And because the superstars that you see, the Dr. Kokus, even me, that people are going to be watching and saying, oh gosh, she's so good. I started somewhere and I'm learning as I go. At the end of this broadcast, we're going to go back and do a debrief. What didn't work? What happened? So we're all learning. So observe, but apply.
Wow.
And apply the little you know. You don't have to wait.
I like that. That was beautiful. And I really appreciate the way you said that, because observation must be followed with application for transformation to happen. Because observation alone does not lead to transformation. You can observe.
Can I give you an acronym? And I got that from you too. I'm serious. I'm going to give you an acronym just based on what you say. OATS.
That's it. Yeah, I was thinking about it too.
Transformation.
Yeah, exactly.
Bam.
Yeah. I was thinking about it, just like observation, application, then transformation. Because that is it. Because and you are 100% right. A lot of people, how many times have people gone to conference? They observe. Observation is good. But the question is, anytime you go somewhere, let me give you this handle. I mean, I want to be very, very practical with you. Anytime you go somewhere, always think about this. When you are listening to a speaker speaking, this is how to maximize and optimize your observation. Remember this word, ACT. So when you go somewhere, you listen. I learned this from Dr. John Maxwell. So, think about, what can I apply? So start thinking about. So anytime the speaker says something, even just as you listen to us right now, start thinking about what can you apply. You hear something you can apply, just put A right there. Because there's so many things to apply. Maybe you can just put A1. So just put A. So anywhere you see something you can apply, just put A. So that's what we called what I'm sharing with you. The first thing is, first of all, you have to categorize it. So you need to really identify it just by putting A. Then the next thing is, what can I change? What change, what adjustment can I make? Put C next to that. The next thing is, what can I teach? So you put T to that. So there are things to apply, there's some things for you to change, and there's some things for you to teach. So at the end of the day, you have a lot of A's, you have a lot of C, a lot of T. So what next do? You prioritize. So your A, this week, I'm going to put A1, I'll do it first week. A2, second week. So don't forget, I taught Nagam this principle, categorization and prioritization. That is how you maximize your observation. So back to what we're teaching. And so we've done, last week we did MENT, motivation, expanded, and perspective, and networking opportunities, and T, transfer of wisdom. So today we started by exploring observation laboratory. Then Dr. B, we're going to go to the next one, relationship. And because the relationship is building a foundation of trust. So this just talks about one of the mentorship advantages, relationship. Because in true relationship, trust have to be earned. Trust is not given to you. You have to earn it. So how has this played out and with you? What have you experienced in terms of your own, in this relationship? And
Well, in terms of trust, your book says John Maxwell said, but I think this is just something that's, I don't know who said it, but people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah.
And for me, this mentor, and I actually model that now with people that I mentor, is that it's not about, with you, one of the things I've observed, it's not about the coaching and the coaching fee. You truly care about all aspects of my life. How am I doing? You're there for me. So it's not transactional.
Yeah, it's relational. Oh, beautiful. I like it. I like that.
Yeah. And that's what, in choosing a mentor, it's important to look for that. And then I believe that for people who want to be mentors, it's important that their heart is really in it, and that this is a servant leadership, mentorship thing, where you're not doing this for whatever selfish reason. You're really doing this because you care. And it goes back to the basics again, that you want to add, you value people, you value yourself, because when you value yourself, then you value people, and you add value. And that's what builds trust. Because I have that trust relationship with you. We have that trust relationship. And then on my end too, I show that I'm trustworthy. So when you say, do something, I do it. I deliver on my promises. That CASH acronym you taught me, just having courage, being authentic, being self-aware, walking in humility, and being honest.
Wow, you still remember the stuff. That was good.
Of course, I got a good mentor coach.
Yeah, good student.
I'm showing up
you
today.
make me happy. That was great, because how many people, this is one thing I like about you, Dr. B, and I talk about Nagam. I say you remind me a lot about Nagam, because when I was working with Nagam was so fired up. She was so fired up. She was like a bird that was let loose. And I believe, I mean, no wonder that both of you get along, because it's the same spirit, the spirit that want to apply. Like I say, a lot of people, they don't know. Yannick normally tell me this, Yannick has mentored me a lot. He would tell me, a lot of people will say, Yannick, what's the secret sauce? that even after you give them the source, they won't do nothing. They want to come for more. So, and Dr. John Maxwell said something. He said, when he mentors people, he doesn't give more to them until they share what they have done.
Exactly.
Because there are two kinds of people. Some people are waste, some people are wisdom. Waste people, they don't act. They want to receive, 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 receive. They don't apply, apply, apply. But wisdom people, they are the one that apply what they receive from you. And once they receive from you, they apply it. They will now tell you. Dr. B, remember when we talk about the mastermind training, we talk about 3 A's. We talk about awareness, which happens during the training. Then we talk about the A, application. So we encourage people to go and apply. Then the last A is accountability. So we demand accountability. So people have always talked about that. I mean, this has changed my mastermind. That's been my mastermind model, the triple A's. One day I was doing it somewhere, and there was a little girl. She was in the room with her mom. We couldn't see her. So the mom was now communicating with me later on that the daughter was listening to the training. She said, "Mom, do you do this every week?" He said, "Yes." She said, "Nurse," she was like, I can't forget that. So what I'm saying is accountability is what makes application profitable. Because when you know someone is going to ask you, okay, how did you apply what you learned? Then that help you to be conscious of application next time. Yeah. So let's go to the next alphabet.
Can I say something before we go to the next?
Oh, yes, sure.
That just kind of struck me too. I think it's important for mentees to realize that the mentors are investing time in them. Time is currency. It's like money, actually more precious than money. And so when someone invests in you and you're not aware, or you just stop at the awareness level and you're not applying and you're not being accountable, you're wasting that person's time, and it's gratitude, really.
Yeah.
And so it's very important to, like you said earlier on last week, it's a two-way traffic. You have to, someone is pouring into you, you have to come and give account, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. And that shows the fact that you are ready to receive more, because if you didn't apply what you get yesterday, what's the possibility that what you're going to get now, you're going to apply it?
Why waste my time?
Exactly. So that's why you have to ask yourself, are you a waste or a wisdom?
Exactly.
So the next one we'll be looking at, the X, support and guidance. Mentors provide support and guidance, and this helps us to navigate the life's highs and lows. And this navigation is key. And like I said, I've received a lot of support and guidance in the course of just in the case of mentorship. I remember at times Yannick will reach out to me and said, and maybe he hear me, I say something on the call, or after sharing some things, he will give support, he will give guidance. Of recently told me about a book. He take a picture of the book, he sent it to me. He said, "You need to get this book." Now, watch this. The instruction of a mentor is a command to the mentee. Immediately, now she said it. As I speak with you now, I've read the book. I got the book. I finished the book. And I'm so glad that he told me about the book. And Dr. B, you remember how many books I've really bothered you with?
I know. I'm working on them.
I'll call you that, Dr. B, you need to get this book. You need to get this book. But that's why we need mentors in our corner. Because they care about us. They want the best for us. It's like you ate in a restaurant and the food was so good. You have to tell people, go check out that restaurant. So tell us, what advantage has the support and guidance provided for you? Thank you.
The support has really been huge because, and me, I like to just say things as they are. I don't know if the word is in spite or despite the fact that I'm growing and I'm learning and I'm doing all these things, I really do still get nervous. And so one of the things you do for me is if I'm going to speak somewhere or I have a podcast coming up, or I'll prepare it and have you listen and guide me to say, okay, no, take this out, and you'll say, well, take this out. So that's support. And I know that I can call you, I don't abuse it, but I can call you at any time. That's been very helpful in giving me the confidence to step out on the platforms that I step out on. Because what's happening is the stakes are getting higher and higher for me. I'm not on the floor. And look, people who are listening to this podcast, you better look at this space now, because I am a VIP. I'm going somewhere.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she is. As a matter of fact, she'll be one of our keynote speaker in the Blaze of Change coming up June 28th, where we'll be igniting youths all around the world. It's going to be great. And also she'll be moderating and she'll be moderating, and look out for her in the Made for More coming up, very shortly, and March the 1st. She'll be co-moderating in a very powerful capacity. Yeah. Because the thing is just like, and that's one thing I've said about Dr. B is like, one thing I note about you is your level of humility. And I want to say this, it counts. And if you are not teachable, you are not reachable. Nothing the mentor says will reach you. And that's one thing that make successful mentees. Dr. B has really been, she has grown a lot within a short time because she was teachable. Like I said, I too have learned a lot from her. See, when you are teachable, it rubs on people. And that teachability is, I've watched her, so many things that she would do. She would just send it to me, and I would just watch the commanding presence, the courage of recent. We were in a program together. Without telling her, I just tell her to close it.
Oh my God.
That was last week. We had an authors forum with Dr. Kenisha in the house. I didn't tell her before. I just said, close. And she just
closing remarks.
Impromptu, without, she was.
I was so proud of myself. I promise you, because months ago, I would have, first of all, my heart would have started racing like crazy. I would have been like fussing and cussing at you in my mind. And I would have fumbled and fumbled.
Yeah.
But the delivery, even if I say to myself,
to
deliver, I was able to think very quickly. On my seat. And that is one of the things that being in mentorship does for you. That's great. One of the advantages. Because
that's awesome.
You get to hear people speak. You get to put your thoughts together very, very quickly.
Really.
I don't know if you remember this on your mastermind. You just ask us a question.
That's what we call the leadership laboratory.
I hated those. I absolutely hated those.
That's part of the training. It's part of the training to help people to think on the fly.
Exactly.
Because mostly people want scripted answer that for you to know what they're gonna ask, but I don't like that. It's like what I called simulation. And people that want to fly some and get on a big plane and all that, they normally simulate it first just before they really experience the reality. And that's the thing that I like to do, and that's part of leadership preparation. Oh, thank you, Dr. B. No, let's quickly go to the next one. Our time is ticking fast. Now, the next one is honest feedback. Refining your potential. And I tell people, you don't get feedback until you feed first. So I think this is one of the key about mentorship advantage, receiving an honest feedback. Without a mentor, you won't get no honest feedback. Anybody can give you a feedback, but that doesn't mean that it's honest. So many people can give you, because they want you to feel good. But listen, a mentor is not interested in you feeling good. A mentor is interested in you getting good. Don't forget that. A mentor is not after you're feeling good. It's after you're getting good. Not that the mentor hates you. A mentor will provide honest feedback to make you get good, because the mentor knows that when you get good, it's good for your business. But most of the time, we just want to feel good. We want people to give us a dumb feedback.
You have
You
to
know,
be making faces. You have to be making faces.
exactly.
I'm making faces because yes, Dr.
For
Koku
real.
gives me honest feedback and it
Exactly.
hurts. It's very painful, everybody. Very, very painful.
Yeah.
But it's
So talk
making a
about it,
difference.
Dr. B. Yeah, your experience, please.
So, oh my God. This whole podcast is not scripted. We're talking off the fly. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I did 2 presentations. I can't remember which ones. And
Yeah.
I've done many where I've had to get feedback, but the last 2 were particularly painful because I didn't do my intro. There were a lot of things that I didn't do properly. And Dr. Koku, other people gave me feedback. Say, BC was so good. It was fine. Not lie.
They want you to feel
That means
good.
it's not true. They were trying to make me feel good. But when he came, he just kept cutting me and cutting me and cutting me. But guess what? The next few podcasts and the next few presentations I'm going to do are going to be great. And I actually, last week, remember last week when we recorded, you didn't have the intro. Like, how about my intro? But because the feedback you gave me.
We did.
That say your intro.
And we did.
So
That was
feedback
really
is
beautiful.
on a serious note. Feedback helps you to get better. And a lot of times we want people who will stroke our ego. But if you want to get better, you don't need someone who will stroke your ego. You need someone who will tell you the truth so that you can get to where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, that's very. And I really appreciate, Dr. B, I really appreciate your vulnerability, your authenticity, the way you share this. Because, like I said, so I want you to know that feedback is about getting good and not feeling good. And mentors are big about getting good. They're not big about you feeling good. They know that when you get good, you will feel good.
You'll feel good. And I feel good today.
Dr.
That
B,
day, I did not feel good.
Exactly. Dr. B, let me give you a context to it, a better understanding. Someone said it's like a surgeon going for a surgery. And he needs to cut part of some things that were not good, maybe some cancerous part out of the client, out of the patient. So now, what the surgeon is doing is it can be hot. The client will feel some hot, but it's different from harm.
Yeah.
So hot, H-U-R-T, is not equal to harm.
Yep.
Someone said effort is only effort when it begins to hurt. And that's what feedback does. So when you get feedback, you get some hurt, but it's not an harm. Because the goal is to refine you so that next time, my mentor said this, I have to pay attention to this. It increases your sense of awareness. That takes us to the next one. Ooh, this is awesome. Inspiration. We said that one of the mentorship advantages, inspiration. That means fueling a purpose-driven life. In writing this book, the mentor that I mentioned right there is Valerie Botten. And I talk about her, and I've been privileged to see Valerie one-on-one on IMC backstage. We talked, and I've told her how she has really inspired me in many ways. Even of recent, I was telling her on Facebook when she was posting, she's writing her 14th book, and I just told her too, and that I just wrote my 11th book, and that I highlighted her as one of the mentors. Oh, she replied me and all that. So, like I said, Valerie is so inspiring, and I've learned a lot from her. So, and that's this inspiration factor, and this inspiring factor. One of the mentorship advantages, inspiration. They fuel our purpose-driven life, to live a purpose-driven life. So, how has this, and what was your own experience with this inspiration? Thank you.
Okay, some quote from your book, The Mentor's Legacy, Leaving a Trail for Others to Follow. And it says, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you're a leader. And this is by the quote from John Quincy Adams. And I can honestly say, and I really do want to thank you publicly, Dr. Koku, that you have inspired me to dream more. I had an LLC, a business, Full Hands Ventures. But when I opened the LLC, it was to park my real estate investments. But with mentorship, I switched it. I used that Full Hands Ventures as my communication, speaking, and training platform. Never would have done that. 2024, I put up a website or started a website, launched my website. Never would have done that. Posting on LinkedIn and Facebook, content that matters. Never would have done that. I'm still working on the book you told me to write. I have content, but I'm working on that. So I've dreamt more. I've learned more. I'm still learning, and I'm becoming more. My confidence is off the charts, and not off the charts in a proud way, but off the charts in I know who I am and I know where I'm going. And I'm making a difference, because at the end of the day, when I look at myself, I'm, up there in age, but when I look at myself, I can say when I got out of private practice, one of the things that I felt the Lord said to me was, because I'd made an impact in that community, was that I finished my course in that community with joy. I ran my race and I finished well. And that's what the legacy that I want to leave with my life at the end of my, and I feel that I'm on track to doing that.
Wow,
that's
awesome.
What mentorship has done for me.
And that's huge, because many people cannot say that. Many people cannot say that. And what you just said now is very powerful. I remember as a medical student, when I wrote my second book, I went to one of our consultant dermatologists, and I want him to be one of the person that will review the book. And he looked at me like this. He was confused. He said, he won't be able to do that. I said, sir, you can do it. He said, he was just of recent trying to find out what is, I can't forget that. What his purpose is. I don't want to mention his name, because you will know him when I mention his name.
And then we don't,
You see what I'm saying? He said, I'm just trying to, she would just realize that this is a medical student that is still in medical school, that has discovered his purpose, that is working on in it. And she said, he's just trying to find out what his purpose is. And that day I went home, I said, Lord, I thank you. I remember I was recent. I was, 2 years ago, I was a friend of mine. He works in John Hopkins. So he's a doctor right now, and he's also a pastor of a church. So he brought me to do, he's the pastor in charge of the youth church in Maryland. So I did a session with the youth, and when he was introducing me, and he was telling people, he said, while we are still in school, many of us, when we don't have any clue about our purpose, he was already working in this. And so this inspiration is very important. And I'm so happy, Dr. B, I'm so happy for you that you are working in your purpose. And the good thing is, when you work in purpose, some great stuff will start showing up.
Yes.
Because have you ever been somewhere before? Maybe you find yourself driving in the wrong direction. You start seeing things that you're not supposed to see. Usually like the bad landmarks. But when you are going the right direction, when you don't miss your way, when you're on track, some pleasant things will start coming up. That is the beauty of that inspiration. So we're going to close up with the last one, P. The last alphabet is P, talks about personal and professional growth. So one of the mentorship advantages, personal, not just professional, personal and professional growth, which is helping us to become the best version of yourself. And that takes me to what you just shared. There's a magazine coming up now. You're on the cover of the magazine. You talk about your son said this last Christmas that, Mom, I love this new version of yourself. And that's one of the power of mentorship. For someone closest to you to say that. So talk about how the mentorship advantage has really helped you with your personal and professional development growth. Thank you.
So I'm going to talk about personal because a lot of times we talk about professional lives, and professionally, I've done well, and I'm grateful and I'm thankful. But a lot of we for the most part want to separate those, and unless we, as you always say, come to that sweet spot with both things, we're not going to be fulfilled. And that's why a lot of women, and one of the things I do is help high achieving women to discover, to come back to that place, to rediscover the place, and to reimagine and to rediscover themselves to where they have both, they're fulfilled in their careers and they're also fulfilled personally. I have one son, and we've had our little spats over the years. He's in his late 30s. And it's always just been a on and off strained relationship. So this Christmas, he came home with his wife, and he put both hands on my shoulder and faced me, and he said, "Mom, this has been a good year." He said, telling me things that, and you told me something to the fact, and I'm paraphrasing, "You've been good this year." And I said, "I love this version of you." And that was the best Christmas gift ever, because it said to me that I had changed, I had shifted. I've not read the book Leadership, but I had leadershipted in every area of my life to where my own son, who normally would have said, "Oh, mommy, you did this and you did that," and could say, "I love this version of you." And it was the best. They were here for about a week. It was the best 1 week ever. No fussing. There was it was just, we all had a great time. I mean, I honestly can say that when you invest in your growth, when you invest in your development, you can't compartmentalize these things. I say that all the time. Because it's still you, body, soul, and spirit. And so what the investment you make in this area of your life, if you really truly apply it, will bleed into other areas of your life, to the holistic approach to bring out that great you. So that, to just quote the scriptures, that really out of your belly is really flowing rivers of living water. Instead of you being a reservoir that just having things just die and fester. And so that's what it's done for me. And again, you said this is not scripted. I'm speaking from as things are coming to me. I'm being very authentic, from an authentic self. I'm from an authentic place. So it's been great. It's been great. It's inspired me to mentor other people as well.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, Dr. B,
and I met a very, very nice person through all this mentorship. That's still under the cover. We're not going to say anything. I'm still undercover with that, but
wow, that's why we talk about some great things that coming
great up. Things have happened.
Yeah, because the good thing about this, Dr. B, is just, I just love this this session that we had, first part and second part, because like I said, the framework that we use, and because we can just talk like this, we can go east, west, back and forth, but using the framework mentorship, in the first podcast that we did last week, we examined the first 4 alphabets, but today we were looking at the remaining one. We've looked at the observation laboratory, and we've looked at the R, relationship. We look at the S, support and guidance. We look at the H, honest feedback. And we look at the I, inspiration. And we look at just the P now, the personal and professional growth. These are all the mentorship advantage. Listen, I want to encourage you to get this book. But beyond this book, what you have experienced today is a practical experience of mentorship. You see, listen, you can learn so many things about this book, but if you don't apply it, it won't work. So what we're doing today is we've looked at Dr. B as a practical application, because she had a mentorship, and she was taking action. I remember when she started taking off the limit, Do you know many people that have been inspired by that single act? She was just sharing their experience, and most of those experiences are very practical things, and that's what leadership is all about. Leadership is not trying to simulate something, it's a life lived out. So it's been a great moment. And Dr. B, thank you so much for
Thank you
being
for having
vulnerable,
me. I
putting
appreciate
yourself out there, sharing your experience. It's been so productive. And please put in your comment in the chat, and I'll be putting in the link. How? So, Dr. B, just quickly share with people, how can people connect with you? And people have listened to the first part and second part that, oh, it's not only your son that love this new version of you, they too love this new
it.
version of you. And people are like,
Keep on
how?
loving.
Yeah. And people are saying that, how can people connect with you, please? And for the sake of people that are asking that question. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much again, Dr. Koku, for
Welcome.
your mentorship, for your friendship,
You're welcome.
for just being you, authentically you. I really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. And for pouring into not just me, but into other people. You've made a difference in our lives and in the lives of so many others. You can
Welcome.
contact me. The best way to reach me is either on LinkedIn or my website. So LinkedIn is Olabisi Oshikanlu, MD, OLABISI, Oshikanlu, OSHIKANLU, MD. And then on my website at Full Hands Ventures, FULLHANDS Ventures.com. So fullhandsventures.com.
Wow. Thank you so much. It's been a great time. Viewers, don't forget the Mentorship Advantage, why Mentorship Act matters. It gives you an edge that you never know that you can have. And if you are still having question about, oh, should I subscribe to mentorship? I always tell people and that join the Maxwell Leadership, I said, make sure you join mentorship because I've seen the value in my life. And that has been a transformational experience. And I've been privileged to even work with some people one on one, and like Dr. B, and taking it to another old level. So thank you, Dr. B. Thank you so much. And I believe, I want to recommend Dr. B to anyone that is looking for a mentor. I tell you, she's a seasoned. When you eat a meat that is well seasoned, oh wow, it's a beautiful experience. So don't forget, this has been a real experience, and I want you to know that as you watch 1 and 2, think about changing your mind. If you still have a different mindset about mentorship has its advantage and is evident in the change life. So thank you. Make sure you apply all that you learn. Till we see you next week with another speaker that has experienced this transformation. It's going to be a great time as you apply it. Thank you. Bye bye.